in 3D lines proofs, we have 5 formulas in 3D lines. The 2 of them are the distance between, sorry, 2 of them are the equations of lines, and 1 is angle between the lines, and 2 of them are the distance between the lines. One is the distance between the skew lines, and other one is the distance between the parallel lines. So the distance between the parallel lines is the 4th point. So the skew lines is the 4th point. This is A1 bar plus lambda B1 bar. R bar is equal to A2 bar plus mu B2 bar is the D equal to A2 minus A1 dot B1 cross B2 by mod B1 cross B2. This is the distance between the skew lines. To understand the distance between skew lines, first you need to know the concept of projection of a vector on other vector from vector algebra. Projection of A bar on B bar. Can anyone give me what is the formula for projection of A bar and B bar? Projection of A bar on B bar. A bar dot B bar by mod B bar. We discussed that in vector algebra, right? But now the question is, if the vectors are coplanar, then you can get the projection of one vector on another vector. Suppose this is A bar, okay, this is B bar, and suppose this is A bar, then the projection of A bar on B bar is this vector. I mean, the projection vector is this, and the magnitude of projection of A bar on B bar is this. Basically, this length is A bar dot B bar by mod B bar. So this is fine when A bar and B bar are lying on the same plane. Now the question comes, is it compulsory that every pair of vectors are coplanar? Any two vectors must be coplanar? Compulsory? Any two vectors must be coplanar? Suppose you take this vector. This is one vector. This is another vector. These two are coplanar. They are lying on the same plane. Suppose if I take like this, still they are lying on the same plane. You can take another plane. You can take another plane containing them. These two vectors, right? But what if I have like this? So this is now lying on this plane, and this vector is like this. Now can you find a plane containing both? Can you find a plane containing both? You see this? There is no plane containing these. Can you say that these two vectors are coplanar? We don't know. No. They are not lying in the same planar. So when any two vectors are may or may not be coplanar, any two vectors may or may not be coplanar, how can you give a formula for projection of A bar and B bar without checking whether they are coplanar or not? So can anyone give the conclusion whether any two vectors are coplanar or not? Any two vectors must be coplanar, may or may not be coplanar, never coplanar. What is the answer? Which option you will pick? Any two vectors are always coplanar, may or may not be coplanar, never coplanar. Which one is correct? First, second, third. So majority says that may or may not be coplanar. When they are coplanar and when they are not coplanar. If they are lying on the same plane, then they are coplanar. If they are not lying on the same plane, then they are not coplanar, right? Yeah. But the thing is, you can see that here you identified this plane, this vector, and this vector are not coplanar. I'm using the word vectors, but they are not vectors. They are lines. This black colored pencil and this yellow colored pencil are lines. They are not vectors. There is a concept called free vectors we discussed in the beginning of the chapter, vector algebra. So when I'm showing these pencils, which you can physically see, so these are lines. So any two vectors are always coplanar. Vectors, we always mean that free vectors. If you consider these two as free vectors, then they are coplanar. If you consider them as localized vectors, they are may or may not be coplanar. If you consider them as localized vectors, may or may not be coplanar. Suppose if you consider them as localized vectors, they are not coplanar now. But if you consider them as free vectors, then they are coplanar. How free vectors coplanar means? When it is a free vector, so it is independent of its initial point. So when it is a free vector, it's independent of its initial point. So without changing the magnitude, of course, when you're taking the same pencil, the magnitude won't change. And without changing the direction, you change the position of this. You've changed the position of this. And I'm not changing the direction of this vector. And I'm keeping that, I'm not placing it in on the board. Actually, without changing the direction, I kept like this. Then I will have a paper containing these two. There will be a paper, there will be a plane containing these two. So that means if you consider this vector, these vectors as free vectors, then you can keep one vector in one place. You can move the other vector. You can move the other vectors such that both of them are co-initial vectors. Both of them are starting from the same point, right? And then you can see that both vectors are coplanar. That means any two free vectors are coplanar. Any two free vectors are coplanar. This is the important point. Any two free vectors are coplanar. Whereas any two localized vectors are basically the line equation. When we're discussing about the line equations, I told already that equation of a line is a localized vector, kind of localized vector, because the support is given to that. We know that the 2 points through which that line is passes through. But when it comes to the free vectors, it is only magnitude and the direction, not the support, right? That's why the point that you need to understand is when you consider the free vectors. Now, suppose someone asks you to find consider these two as free vectors. Consider these two as free vectors. Now, when you consider these two as a free vectors, what is the projection of this yellow colored pencil on that black colored pencil? So how we can find the projection? This is like this, and the projection, if you consider like this, and you'll get the cross one. So if you consider the projection of this, you keep the yellow colored pencil like this, and then you take the projection of this, then you get the projection cross one. How will get the projection of this and this? Right? That's the doubt, initial doubt that we get. But when the line is like this, because it's a free vector, you will move these free vectors to this place. And then once you make those two as localized vectors, the free vector, if you move such that they are co-initial, then the projection of this you get. So the projection of this, you get the projection of this as this one. Right? So when it is given like this, you will move this vector. When it is given like this, you will move that vector. You will move that vector to this place. When it is given like this, you will move this vector to this place. And after moving like this, then these two vectors will be coplanar. And when they are lying on the same plane, then you take the projection of that and this way. So that means if the vector is given like this, yellow colored one and the black colored one, and the question asked is find the projection of this yellow colored vector on the black colored vector. You can see that that small box along the black colored pencil is the projection. But physically, if you see in this, exactly in this position, you won't feel like that box kept along with the black pencil is a projection of this, but it is. How? Because it is a free vector, we will move this to this place such that the projection of this, so such that this yellow colored and the black colored are lying on the same plane, and after getting that these two are lying on the same plane, and you take the projection of this, you take the projection of this on this black colored pencil, so then you get this as a projection. So if you understand this point from vectors properly, the projection of a vector and another vector, how we can find the projection of any given vector and any other vector when they are not coplanar, means they are not coplanar if you consider them as localized vectors. If you consider them as free vectors, any two vectors are coplanar, so that you can get the projection of one vector on another vectors. So if you understand this, then we are done. Next step. So this proof we already discussed. So what is this? If you consider this as the angle between the vectors, which is theta, then what you get, and this projection length as some p or something. The cos theta equal to p by mod a bar. And now we need p value. So the p is equal to mod a bar into cos theta. Multiply with mod b bar and divide with mod b bar. So the mod a bar into mod b bar into cos theta is a bar dot b bar. So the projection of a bar on b bar, projection of a bar on b bar is, projection of a bar on b bar is a bar dot b bar by mod b bar. So if you understand and accept this projection of a bar and b bar formula, then understanding the distance between the skew lines formula is simple. So the distance between these skew lines, you have a line like this and you have a line like this. Again the skew lines means the lines in three-dimensional geometry, the lines like this. Skew lines means neither parallel nor intersecting. See, in two-dimensional geometry, suppose this is unplane, you don't have a third choice for any two lines. The lines either they need to intersect, either the lines need to intersect, or the lines need to be parallel. On a plane, you don't have any other third choice. Suppose if the lines are not parallel like this, even though it is not shown here that they are intersecting, they will go like this and then they will intersect here somewhere, right? they will intersect somewhere like this. That means on a plane, you take any two lines, either they are parallel or intersecting. But if you go for three-dimensional space, if the lines are like this, they're parallel. If the lines are like this, they're parallel. And if the lines are like this, it will go and then intersect with this somewhere, right? And if it is like this, they will never intersect. You can see that. So they will never intersect. They are not parallel. This is like this and this is like this. And they won't intersect also. They crossed each other without intersecting each other. So they will be neither parallel nor intersecting. So the diagram that I drawn there, three-dimensionally is like this. You need to think that in three-dimensionally. Now the question asked is that the distance between the skew lines. The distance between the skew lines is, suppose, something like this. Perpendicular distance. The line is like this, and the distance between the skew lines is the perpendicular distance between them. It's like this. So a line which is perpendicular to that line, the black colored pencil and yellow colored pencil, joining these two, that is the distance between them. The question asked is to find the distance between them, right? So the distance between them is along the perpendicular line, perpendicular to both the first line and second line. Now there are 2 points given on the line. Okay, I'll come back to this. So there are 2 points given. So assume that this is the line of perpendicular for both the lines. Assume that this is the line of perpendicular for both the lines. So this is B1 bar and this is B2 bar. And assume that this point is AA bar, A1 bar. And this point is BA2 bar. Now this is the line equation given the first line, A1 bar, and then direction of the line is B1 bar. A2 bar is a point and the direction of the second line is B bar. Now there is a line joining these 2 points. There is a line joining these 2 points, A and B. There is a line joining these 2 points, A and B. Now this vector equation you can find because you know the A1 point and A2 point. If you observe carefully, the projection of AB bar on this line, on this perpendicular line, if you extend this, this is a perpendicular line. Projection of AB bar on this perpendicular line is nothing but, suppose you call this as C and you call this as D. The CD is the perpendicular distance between the lines. So the perpendicular distance between the lines is nothing but the projection of AB on CD. The projection of AB on CD. The projection of AB on CD is the perpendicular distance between the 2 lines. So this is the first vector, suppose the first line, and this is the second line, and this is the line of shortest distance. That means the line which is perpendicular to the first line and the second line. See, in two-dimensional geometry, if a line is perpendicular to both the lines, so the other 2 lines should be parallel. In three-dimensional geometry, two-dimensional geometry, it's compulsory. Right? The middle one is perpendicular to this and this, these 2 should be parallel. But in three-dimensional geometry, it is not compulsory. I'll just give the example. Suppose these 2 are the vectors, lines, and this line, which is perpendicular to this plane. This line is perpendicular to the yellow pencil also and the black pencil also. But this line is perpendicular to both. But these 2 are not perpendicular to each other. In three-dimensional, it is possible. In three-dimensional geometry, it is possible. Same way, one line is here, the other line is here. You take the line which is perpendicular to both. You take a line which is perpendicular to both. So if you take a line which is perpendicular to both, okay, let me consider like this so that you can see that. Okay. Yeah, this is the line which is perpendicular to both. So that is the shortest distance. But how you'll find this means, you can see this tip, consider this tip as A1 point, A point, and this tip of this pencil as B point. Then the line joining these 2 points, if you join these 2 points, the line joining these 2 points, that is AB. Now AB and CD, the pencil box, what is it, lead box line joining is the CD, the shortest distance between them. Now our aim is to find the CD. If you understand the fact that the CD length is nothing but the projection of AB. This tip is A and this tip is B. Line joining AB is this red colored pen. Now the projection of AB on CD, projection of AB along the line joining CD, So line joining CD can be extended. If you take the projection of this on CD, that projection length will be equal to this. Then again you get a doubt. How can you take the projection? This pencil box line is not coplanar with this. See, when you're talking about the lines directly CD and AB, they are not free vectors. As localized vectors, they are not coplanar, so you can't find the projection of that and that. But when you're finding the projection, when you're using the projection formula, you'll take the moment you calculate AB vector using the A and B point, that becomes a free vector. If you observe closely, when you're writing AB, x2 minus x1 I cap plus y2 minus y1 j cap plus z2 minus z1 k cap, when you're writing that, so you will only write the magnitude, you'll only write the distances that you need to travel along the x, y, z axis to reach from A to B. So that can happen between any 2 points, right? So the projection of this red colored pencil on this, the lead box, right? That. So for that, if you know the equation of the vector along this lead box and vector along this red color pen, then you can use the projection formula and you can get the answer, right? And one more example I'll give. Suppose if you see the films, when you're watching a film, the projector will be there in the film theaters. The projector will the sender will be there at the back, and the projector will be there. Why we need to go to the film theaters and all? In our classroom, Amatra classroom, you see that projector will be there in the middle of the classroom on the top, and what is that? I forgot the name of that. Whatever that sender, and then that sheet will be there. That sheet will be there near the board, the white sheet. If you keep that white sheet little further, then you'll get a bigger picture. And if you keep the white sheet closer to that sender, then what you get a smaller picture. Like that, this picture size is depending on the sheet that you're putting here, right? Same way, if you're taking that picture back, the picture back means suppose from the whatever that screen, from the screen, if you're sending the picture back to the sender, if you're sending from here, the size of that will be reduced and projected in the projector, right? It is like that. So this big picture also, if you compress and then project on this the small one, the size will be reduced. Like how projector is increasing the size, reversely, when you're taking the projector of the bigger picture and on the smaller surface, that the size will be reduced, right? Now we'll focus on the calculation part. So the let CD be the perpendicular line to both given lines. Let CD be the perpendicular line to the both given lines. Therefore, the vector along CD, not exactly the CD, vector along CD. Because the magnitude is not same as the CD. Vector along CD means CD is perpendicular to both B1 and B2. The vector which is perpendicular to both B1 and B2 is B1 cross B2. But the magnitude of B1 cross B2 we don't know. It need not to be CD. It can be any length. We don't know. Now, the AB vector, AB bar equal to obviously that A2 bar minus A1 bar. Therefore, the shortest distance between skew lines is projection of AB bar on a not exactly CD bar on B1 cross B2. Because in this case, at least the AB bar, whatever you are calculating, the magnitude of that AB bar is equal to the length AB. But here we are taking the vector along CD, not exactly the CD bar you are getting. If you are getting exactly CD bar, you can find the magnitude of this, that will be the perpendicular distance. But you are getting the vector which is perpendicular to both the vectors. So skew lines, the shortest distance between the skew lines is the projection of AB bar on a vector perpendicular to both lines, which is B bar cross B1 cross B2. According to the projection of vector formula, projection of A bar on B bar is A bar dot B bar by mod B bar. So AB bar is A2 minus A1 dot B1 cross B2 by mod B1 cross B2. As it is a distance, you will take the modulus even for the numerator, right? Next, distance between parallel lines. R bar equal to A1 bar plus lambda B bar, comma R bar equal to A2 bar plus mu B bar, lambda mu belongs to real numbers, is the D equal to A2 minus A1 cross B bar by mod B bar. Of course, the modulus for the numerator. What is this? This is quite easy because when they are parallel, automatically they are coplanar. So there is no need of a three-dimensional view and all. So you can directly try to understand that on paper itself, on the on the plane itself. So this is, suppose this is A1 bar, and this is B bar, and suppose this is B, A2 bar. So this is the line joining those two. But when you want the perpendicular distance between them, that is this. When they are given 2 points, the 2 points can be anywhere, but you want the perpendicular distance between them. Let us call this as C. You want AC. See, previous case, we took cos theta there because we want the adjacent side. Adjacent side is the distance in the projection of vector formula. But here, projection of A bar and B bar formula, we took cos theta. But here we'll take if a angle between this A2 minus A1 and this is B bar again is theta. Suppose you want this distance sin theta, you want sin theta is equal to opposite side AC by, of course, the magnitude of AC is AC itself, by AB. So sine theta, we want AC. So AC equal to AB. AB is what? A2 minus A1. A2 minus A1 into sine theta. What is this? A2 minus A1 magnitude basically. Again, here you multiply with mod B bar. Then what is this? Isn't it the modulus of A2 minus A1 cross B bar by mod B bar? And that's the answer. You just need to know that mod A bar plus B bar formula. Mod A bar plus B bar is mod A bar into mod B bar into the sine theta. Sine theta is the angle between them. That's what we got here. Mod A2 minus A1 into mod B bar into sine theta. Theta is the angle between A2 minus A1 and B bar. And you get it. So that's the distance between the parallel lines formula. The distance between skew lines formula is also as simple as this. But the only thing is this. Projection of A bar and B bar. Understanding the projection of A bar and B bar. And when you're calculating the projection, you're treating them as free vectors. For free vectors only, you can find the projection of A bar and B bar. For localized vectors, you can't find. You can't find in the sense you can't use. You can't understand the explanation. You need to convert the localized vectors into free vectors and then use the formula, right?